There is a parasite that will eat your brain. It's called Naegleria fowleri, and it lives in warm water lakes, in the sand and silt in the shallows. It will swim up your nose and proceed to eat your neurons and your brain. Usually, symptoms occur around 4 hours after infection and include headache, sensitivity to light, and nausea. If you experience any of these after swimming in a lake, you need to go to the hospital as soon as possible. If undiagnosed, you'll be dead within 24 hours. To diagnose it, you'll have to get a spinal tap and pray the tech working knows what to look for.
Naegleria fowleri has been found in the drinking water of Pakistan, Australia, and at least 3 US states.
On a recent date with a CSI, I learned that a lot of people die naked or near the toilet. Apparently people get very hot and try to strip down when close to death. Capgras syndrome. A certain kind of brain damage severs the connection between your visual cortex and the emotional center of your brain. But the link to your higher cognitive areas are intact. You can see your own mother, or anyone important to you, know for a fact that she looks identical to your mother, but something will feel off and you will be convinced she is an imposter.
My grandmother suffered from this as she lapsed into Alzheimer's. It was incredibly sad to hear about how her children would see her and talk with her, and she would be so nice and kind, but remind them that, even though they were very nice people and very good imposters, they were still not her children. Eventually, Alzheimer's took that away over the years. All that was left was a screaming 4-year-old mind in an 80-year-old body. That's when you realize that death isn't always the worst thing that can happen.
If a bear attacks, it won't kill you immediately, it'll just start eating. It was once discovered that a fir tree was growing inside a human body. Artyom Sidorkin went to the doctors, suspecting something wrong with his lungs. The doctors thought they were dealing with a tumor, but turns out he had inhaled a fir tree seed, which had sprouted and had begun growing in his lungs. It used to be believed that babies as old as 15 months couldn't feel pain. As a result, doctors would perform surgery without anesthesia. Doctors used muscle relaxants on the infants to prevent squirming, essentially paralyzing the babies for the duration of the procedure. Reports indicate that this continued up until the 1980s.
As an infant in the late 80s, I fell and split the top of my scalp. I was maybe 1 year old. Doctor refused to numb my skin, because, according to him, babies that little don't feel pain. I'm very glad I can't remember back that far.
There are 8 nuclear weapons that are missing all around the world.
Oh, that's actually not all of them. According to a source, there are a grand total of 51 nuclear weapons lost in the world, 40 Russian, 11 American. One of them is apparently half a mile off the coast of Georgia, and the city of Savannah is within its blast radius.
In 2009, a paralyzed Belgian awoke from a 23-year-old coma, and it was discovered he was fully conscious and could hear everything around him the entire time. Like, what? Just imagine, lying there, not being able to move for 2 decades, but also being aware of your surroundings. That's all kinds of messed up nightmare. 80% of Soviet males born in 1923 died in World War II. Totally blind people don't see black, they don't see at all. For some reason that's always frightened me. If you get a blood transfusion and get the wrong type of blood, one of the symptoms is a sense of impending doom.